Hello there, how you doing, guys? So before I go over the details of my Jungle Cup tournament, I would like to say thank you to all those guys who has helped me during the last couple of weeks with all those battles and all those intense battles. It was awesome, and thank you very much, guys, for that. Then I would like to point out to a couple things. The first one, I'm not native speaker, so please bear with me in case I mispronounce some of the words. I'm just trying to reach out to, my friends in other parts of the world. And second, I'm not trying to become a PvP content creator because there is a lot of guys doing a great job out there who are definitely the go-to option for that. I'm just trying to, kind of explain the thought process behind my roster, and pretty much that's it. So as you can see, I have three bucks, I have three flyers, I have the Vigoroth, and I have the Lantern. So my idea here was to prevent my opponent to lead with grass or bug Pokemon, because I have three flyers, and I have three bucks. So I was all the time leading with Vigoroth, which was kind of the MVP for this tournament. I did a lot of simulations with Vigoroth, and I did a lot of practice battles with my friends. And Vigoroth is definitely a very, very safe lead. You all know that already. But I just wanted to make sure my opponent was not leading with Venusaur, with Ludicolo, with Vespiquen, because those were not very positive matches for it. And I'm going to explain the dynamics in the gameplay right now. So this is gonna be our first match of the second round. Unfortunately, I couldn't record. I just forgot to record round number one. So I'm battling against Dan Nunes. He is a challenger, and I led with vigor. As you can see, I'm just trying to stick to the original plan of leading all the time with Vigoroth. I was try to farm up that lantern. This is a positive matchup, as a matter of fact. But I made a few mistakes, I think, in this matchup that at the end resulted in, me losing this first battle. Spoiler alert, just in case. So this is one of those mistakes. I switched into Venomoth, and I should have stayed there with Vigor. I think that should have been. I mean, I could have been. That I could have been doing better with Vigoroth during that battle. So right there, I was trying to shield bait with Poison Fan, which is definitely a must for this strategy to work, because that helped me a lot with the shield baiting. So this is one of the those mistakes. I shielded this one, and that left me without shields for the rest of the battle. That was crucial for what it's coming, and you will see. So I was just waiting for the switch clock to go over, and then I switched into Lantern to do as much damage as I can with Water Gun. So he's actually doing the same. He's very smart. He's waiting for the switch clock. So he brought in Vigoroth, and I know this is not a good matchup for Lantern, especially for this one. You'll see. Yeah, that was a bulldoze right there. I was really expecting a body slam. However, he fooled me right there. Of course, he shielded, and then I just brought my vigor out. He was with a lot of energy stored, as you can see, but was that was not good enough for me to actually beat that vigor out. So you know this is pretty much GG for me. Luckily for me, you'll see that I was able to you know turn around this matchup against the Nunes. I think this was actually the only match I lost during the whole tournament. And this is the second match against A Nunes, and this was crucial for me because if I lose this one, I was you know pretty much out of the tournament. And this is a pretty bad lead for Vigoroth, as you can see. Um, Venusaur having the poison typing resist the counter damage, and it spams frenzy plant so quick. So I try to tank that frenzy plant with the Venomoth, but I couldn't do the switch on time, as you can see. So I was just, try to do as much damage as I could with the Venomoth. I try to hit this Silverwind, which would have been would have would have been super effective for the bug type, but unfortunately for me, he shielded it. Now I'm just trying to shield bait with Poison Fin, and that's why I say Poison Fin is so necessary for this strategy to work, because you can do a lot of shield baiting. As you can see, he actually used his last shield, and that was crucial for me to take over this match, as you will see later on. So I'm just waiting for the switch clock, and I'm bringing in my lantern. You know the drill. I'm trying to do as much damage as I can with water gun. I decided to tank that thunder punch, and I'm gonna take all the charge move coming from that Raichu. And the plan here was to store as much energy as I could and try to destroy that Raichu with fast attacks. So as he tried to actually beat my lantern with that Venusaur, but I was quick enough to actually bring in my Vigoroth and take down that Venusaur. That was crucial. That was a really good move, move from my end. Now I'm trying to farm out that Raichu, as you can see. So I was forced to use the last shield, but my Vigoroth, already had a lot of energy stored, enough for me to actually spam a lot of body slams on my opponent Vigoroth. And that's what I did pretty much. Two in a row, as you can see. So that was a lot of energy he did not see coming, I think. There was another body slam. And by this time, his Vigor was already damaged enough to actually, try to survive. I think he was trying to farm up. And this is the last match against A. Nunes. So it was again extremely crucial for me. So I led with Vigoroth, he led with Alolan Raichu, and this is an okay matchup for me if you know how to manage your energy appropriately. So as you can see, he was farming up. I was also farming up a lot, but I know that was a wild charge. I've played with this guy before and kind of know what his style is, luckily for me. So I was again farming up. I was trying to do some piggyback. I couldn't piggyback on that one, as you can see. So he decided to take this body slam. So I was like, okay, let me give you another body slam, and this time around I think he shielded it. But I think that was a mistake, honestly, because as you can see, I was actually able to take down the Raichu and farm up a lot of energy. So I was pretty much ready with a body slam for whatever that was coming. I was actually decided to just go ahead and use that body slam. So he brought in his own Vigoroth, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do just body slam and a lot of damage. Fortunately for me, he used his last shield right here, and that was all for my Vigoroth. But I think at the end, he, it made a great job because I was able to keep the switch advantage, and also to do some serious damage on two of his Pokemon. So Venomoth is a good matchup against Vigoroth. I was actually very confident I was actually able to come up with this, and I just immediately swap out to my Lantern because he tried to do a lot of damage with Water Gun. Luckily for me, it was very quick with the switch. And I think, guys, this was really crucial for me to actually succeed in this tournament, to be really, really on top of those, to be on top of my opponent switches, because that made the difference, I think. So we were both trying to farm up and try to do as much damage as we could with fast attacks. And let's see what happened here. So yeah, the Venomoth was definitely an MVP, as you can see. So I had a lot of energy stored, and I just spam charge move with this Venomoth, with this guy. It is awesome, definitely the MVP. And now we are on round three. We're going up against Georgie Chava. He's a really good friend of mine. And you know the drill, guys. I was always leading with Vigoroth, and I wasn't sure about this one. Honestly, I've never faced a Torterra. I've never I've never run any simulations, so I was not very sure as to where Vigor was able to actually beat it or not. So just stay there, farm up a lot of energy, and I just decided to play it out. Luckily for me, he burned his two shields, as you will see, and I think that was crucial. That actually helped me a lot to come out victorious after this battle. So I was like, okay, my vigor is pretty much damaged. I'm not gonna shield here, but he was shieldless, so I just decided to bring in my Venomoth, as you will see. And luckily for me, he made a mistake here because he lost his switch advantage, switching out to his Noctowl. So I just brought in my Lantern, and this was welcome to Farmville. I was just farming up a lot of energy from this Noctowl, and he was very smart. He actually used Psychic, but at the end, that was not good enough to take down this Lantern. We all know that's a tank. So I just decided to take down this Lantern, I mean this Noctowl, before he do any Sky Attack or Psychic again. So he's waiting for the Switch Clock. He's smart. But I think at the end it was, pretty much set for this battle because I was with two shields and I was like, okay, I need to take down this Torterra. And, I compromised to the charge move. Luckily for me, I was able to get it and do some damage to that Lantern. So here comes my Venomoth. And again, he was the MVP. Look at that damage, guys. That's a lot of damage. So I was just, doing confusions. And I did not use any shield. And this is the second match against Georgie Chava. He's also a challenger, by the way. He's really, really smart. And, I was really anxious waiting for this matchup, as a matter of fact, because I really respect this guy. So I led with Vigoroth and he led with Noctowl. And this is a positive matchup for you if you know how to manage your shields and energy. So I was just trying to piggyback on this guy and farming up a lot of energy. So I think I took this Sky Attack. Yeah, I did not shield it. But then I was trying to do some piggyback. I think it did not work. But at the end, I just, decided to spam some body slams on that Noctowl. He shielded it. But now I have another body slam ready. And I think, the farming and the piggyback, it's really, really crucial for this type of, close matchups. So I was compromised to not to lose the switch advantage, so I shielded that Sky Attack, as you can see, and I compromised to no, I did not take down the Noctowl with fast attacks. I was just, you know I did not want to risk it, and he used his last shield. I think there was a mistake, definitely, that influenced a lot on the final results. So as you can see, my Vigoroth was pretty much packed up with a lot of energy, and it was just decided to do body slams to whatever that was coming. So the battle was pretty much set. I just, the drill. I just brought in Venomoth. I was ready for the switch, and I just brought up my own Lantern because I knew it that he was about to switch to, whatever that was in the back. So we were both trying to do as much damage as we could with Water Gun. And I think I did not shield it. Yeah, I did not shield that one because I needed that shield for what it was coming, and you'll see that. So we were both doing a lot of damage with Water Gun. That's a very slow attack, but it actually do a lot of work. So I shielded here, and I decided to actually farm up more energy with my Lantern, as you will see. It was a kind of risky move, but I needed to actually store some energy just in case I need it, because I was, preparing the hydro pump, and that gave me the round number three. And this is the first battle of round number four. And this is a really good friend of mine. He's Alan. He's a really good PvPer and a challenger, by the way. As you can see, this is definitely a good lead for me. He is leading with Noctowl. I guess he looked at my roster with all those bugs and flyers, and he thought, I was leading with some sort of bug, I think. So, you know the drill here. I was just farming up, try to do some piggyback, which, by the way, did not work this time around. But you know the drill. Vigor has this matchup if you manage your energy properly, and that's something I really, really, really try to take care of. So he shielded that body slam, but at the end, I think he made a mistake here because he gave me the switch advantage, and I had Venomoth in the bag. That was very obvious. I was just farming up this here across, and here I took a risk because if that Mega Horn was an earthquake, that was a one shot. Fortunately for me, it was not an earthquake. So he's waiting on the switch clock, I guess. I was hoping for the boost here. In the whole tournament, I did not get the boost, not even once. I think. I made a mistake. I shouldn't shielded it. Um, yep, that was definitely a mistake right there. Still, I was able to, you know, win this one because in the back he had Girafarig, but I had one shield, so it was pretty much GG for Alan, and that's how I took this one. Thunderbolt, and there you go. Lantern is so good at the end as a closer. And this is the second matchup against Alan 9210. Again, pretty intense matchup. And well, the formula, I led with Vigoroth, he led with Girafarig. And I should be very honest here. I didn't know what the outcome was after I ran some simulations and I realized that Vigor can actually win this one with proper shielding. So I was very confident because I ran those simulations. So he gave up on switch advantage right there, and I did the same. I swap out to my Venomoth, and the drill. He takes over Vigoroth very well if you have one shield. So I usually take the first body slam to be able to farm up a little bit and do some shield bait with Poison Fang. Usually that works pretty well. So I'm gonna use the shield, and I'm gonna take it down with fast attacks, I think. No, I didn't. I didn't risk it. I didn't risk it, but I think I should have. I should be able to actually take it down with fast attacks only. Good thing I have my Lantern and I have my Vigoroth. I think I chose Lantern because I think he has. Yep, he has a Girafarig in the back. So Lantern can farm this guy like no one else. So welcome to Farmville, I guess. I'm farming this guy. Here comes the Girafarig, and I decided to. I kind of hesitate right there, but at the end I just decided to stay there because Vigor can also do a lot of damage to Graveler. So that's okay. Lantern has done already a lot of damage to Girafarig and Graveler, and here comes the Vigoroth. with a body slam and some HP left. Yep, I farm up a lot of energy. I think I had some lag right there, but at the end, since that did not affect the end result, I just did nothing, and that was GG for Alan. And this is the last match against 8-bit CRYT. He's actually a Costa Rican YouTuber. He's really good, by the way. And well, you know the drill. I have a lot of box and flyers, and well, he led with Alola and Graveler. Try to catch any of those flyers, but I was lucky enough to always lead with Vigoroth. So I was trying to do some piggyback here. I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can to that Vigoroth. And then I think I switched in Venomoth. Yep. So I already have one shield. That should be enough for me to actually take down this Vigoroth. Confusion is so OP that you can do just fast attacks and do a lot of damage. I'm trying to shield bait here or take down the Vigoroth with Poison Fang. And we did it. I'm gonna do another Poison Fang here, or I think, yeah, Poison Fang. And luckily for me, he shielded it. So, I'm gonna repeat myself, I know, but Poison Fang is so strictly necessary for Venomoth in this meta that without it, I'm not sure if this strategy is gonna be as useful as it is right now. So I'm trying to do some piggyback, as you can see. I'm trying to take out this Noctowl. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to the body slam, but that is okay because I have Lantern in the back, and I have the Noctowl is so damaged that it should actually take it down easily. So I have some store energy, and I knew Graveler was in the back, so I was only waiting for the Hydro Pump to be able to, activate it. And that's GG for it. And this is the final match, the final battle of this um, fifth round against 8-bit CR. So we both led with Vigoroth, and this is the first time I think I come across with this situation. But at the end, I was very very confident on my Vigoroth because I piggybacked right there, as you can see, because my Vigoroth, it's got really good IVs, um, but it end up, as you can see, it turns its health got yellow first than my Vigoroth. That is always a good sign that something is going good, something is going in your way. However, I think his vigor is also a good IVs one, because you'll see here they both they both died at the same time. So I think I made a mistake here. You'll see that. So I switched into Betamath and he switched into Alolan Graveler. I was, oh my god. Luckily for me, he didn't have something good against Lantern in the back. He had Lantern, I mean, Noctowl. And well, luckily for me, I was able to actually, take both of its Pokemon with Lantern. I think I'm just farming up a little bit. I'm just farming up, and as soon as I was actually uh, counting on Noctowl's fast attacks, and I knew that he was about to launch another Sky attack, so I decided to use Thunderbolt. But luckily for me, I was able to do some decent damage with Lantern and Thunderbolt for my Venomoth to actually take down this Graveler. So this was a very close match, but at the end, Lantern really helped a lot.